Now my screen is visible to you, everyone, I think.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Uh, as you all know, the topic of my today's presentation is emotional intelligence and academic performance. Friends, I am Dr. Sunil Goyal. Again, welcomes you all in this workshop on emotional intelligence and academic performance. The goal of my today's presentation, today's module, which I have prepared for you, is to to present and discuss at length about the emotional intelligence, particularly emotional intelligence and academic performance. What is the concept of emotional intelligence? What do you mean by emotional intelligence? And what do you mean by academic performance? And most importantly, what is the relationship between emotional intelligence and academic performance? The objective of my today's presentation is to have an understanding about the emotional intelligence as well as its related issues, especially the academic performance in a scientific manner. As far as learning outcomes are concerned, I hope after listening to me, after watching this presentation, you will be familiarized with the concept of emotional intelligence and you will be able to understand the academic performance, the concept of academic performance in a scientific manner. As far as this learning module is concerned, I have divided my learning module into several parts. I will talk upon why talking on emotional intelligence. This we have chosen this subject. Why we are talking on emotional intelligence. Next part will be on conceptualizing stress as workplace. What is the concept of stress and why there is stress at workplace? Then we'll have a look on faculties related work related performance. What do you mean by performance? How far faculty work related performance is being affected by emotional intelligence? Then we will have a look on emotions and emotional intelligence. What do you mean by emotions? What is the concept of emotional intelligence? What is the relationship between job stress, the most important thing, job stress, performance, and emotional intelligence? इन तीनों जो तीन concept हैं, job stress, performance, number 3 is emotional. What is the relationship between these three? Habits of emotionally intelligent people will have a look on. And what are the major skills involved in emotional skills? What are the skills which are responsible for a people to be, for a person to be emotionally intelligent? Emotional intelligence help protect against stress. It is being said how far this is true. We'll look into that also. And why EQ matters in the workplace. Very important thing. Why EQ matters in the workplace? Why EQ is so important and why EQ is important for your success, my success, everybody's success. How emotional, we will have an exercise भी एक मेरे पास में है, आपके पास आपके लिए. We'll examine ourselves. How emotionally intelligent are we? How emotionally intelligent are you? I will share the link with you in the comment box. How to improve emotional intelligence in faculty? A big question before the management, because we want to achieve our goals. We want to achieve our organizational goals, university goals, institutional goals. And in achieving these institutional goals, university goals, emotional intelligence plays a very important role. A big question before the management, before the administration, is how to improve emotional intelligence in faculties. We'll discuss upon that also, and how to become more emotionally intelligent. हो सकता है कि when we perform a EQ test, कुछ लोगों का स्कोर लो आता है, कुछ लोगों का स्कोर लो आ सकता है. How to become more emotional intelligence? We'll have some points and we'll discuss on that also. And we'll conclude with a conclusion followed by self-check exercise. I have given you some useful links also in this presentation, and I have already shared the PowerPoint presentation, a video of this PowerPoint presentation with Surinder sir on his WhatsApp. I would like to request him to please share the link after my presentation is over on the comment box. Let us start with why talking on emotional intelligence. Why we are talking on? Why we have chosen this subject? Why we are today gathered to talk upon emotional intelligence? As you all know, with the rise of 21st century, with the advent of 21st century, 21st century has created knowledge-based society, knowledge-based economy throughout the world. And you all know the importance of higher education is increasing day by day. Throughout the world, it is increasing day by day. Why it is increasing? Because nowadays, country has realized, and they are spending massive budgets on the development of their educational system. As you know, with the evolvement of new education policy 2020, government has made its commitment right very clear that that the government will be spending massive budget for the reform of higher education system in the country, for the reform of school education system in the country. And what is this? Just to create knowledge-based economy, knowledge-based society in our country. And nowadays, academicians are considered as the gatekeeper to knowledge and its successful utilization for the development of society as well. This is a big challenge before us as an academician, and to me also, to you also, to everyone who is into academics. A big challenge before us to utilize our knowledge, to utilize one's own knowledge for the development of the society as a whole. And these overall developments have made the higher education system more complex and competitive. Some people used to say, अरे आपकी नौकरी बहुत बढ़िया है सर, बहुत मजे की नौकरी है आपकी. But they don't know the complexity, they don't know the competitive edge present in the higher education sector. Why? Why competitiveness is there? Why complexity is there? Because there is a big challenge before us, big challenge before the students also. Because after taking BTech degree, they have to work for the development of the society. They have to utilize what they have been taught in their degree, at their schools, and in their higher education institutions. They have to utilize their knowledge, and they have to utilize their knowledge for the development of the society as a whole. And because of this only, university are facing new type of challenges and problem. What type of challenges? Cut on budgets. There is a heavy pressure on the university management to cut their budgets. And job insecurity, a big challenge we are facing, big challenge universities are facing, big challenge institutions are facing. Not only our university, not only our institutions, the best institution in country like IITs, IIM is also facing these type of challenges and problems. And moreover, academic staff members are always under constant pressure of what? Pressure for meeting daily activities, daily targets. Resultantly, we as an academicians suffer from work conflict, suffer from work ambiguity, suffer from heavy workload, suffer from resource constraints, and suffer from role conflict as well. Apart from these stresses, what I have discussed with you, academic staff is also subjected to social stresses. What are these social stresses? I will discuss you in detail. What are these social stresses? Why we are subjected to these social stressors while interacting with colleagues, while interacting with students, while interacting with parents, while interacting with employers, probable employers for our students, means while interacting with the stakeholders. we are into a heavy social stress, and therefore it is proven that university teaching is not an easy profession. It is an stressful profession, and that's why we are talking on emotional intelligence, because job stress is going to have devastating effect on work performance of academic staff. In fact, what is job performance? What do you mean by job performance? Job performance is nothing but the ability of an employee to accomplish work related goals and expectations. Very, very, very important point. You have to accomplish what? Accomplish, you have to accomplish work related goals. Work related goals, and goals you have to work towards the goals of the organizations also. You have to fulfill the expectation. Yes, ma'am. Anything? You please mute yourself. Joby, all those participants who are connected with us, please mute themselves. Accomplish work related goals and expectations in accordance to certain predetermined work standards. Very important point about the job performance. Job performance is nothing. It is not only taking your own class. It is related with the goals and expectations. It is related with the goals and expectations of your own. It is related with goals and expectations of your stakeholders as well. And due to this, the job stress actually hampers such abilities of the academics. And because of this, the academic staff cannot perform effectively. When we see the various models on job stress, when we see the various models on performance, this shows that abilities of employee to handle their job stress often leads to better performance. More बहुत important point है यहाँ पर. As far as emotional intelligence is concerned, as far as job stress is concerned, the ability of an employee to handle their job stress often leads to better performance. It means the more you are able to handle your job in stress, the better will be your performance. And these models state that certain factors moderate the negative effects of job stress on job performance. There are certain factors within an employee, within the personality of an academician, and these factors used to moderate the negative effect. These factors used to nullify these negative effects of job stress, and goes on increasing, goes on the betterment of job performance. And these factors are actually termed as resources. What are one's own resources? These are the actual one's own resources. Own resources means ability to handle yourself, ability to handle one's own instinct, ability to handle one's own job stress. This 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 is very important in today's world, in 21st century. In fact, the two important dimensions of emotional intelligence, intrapersonal and interpersonal competency, enable the employee to decide how well they manage themselves and how they interact with others. बहुत important, the most important point, intrapersonal and interpersonal competencies. What do you mean by intrapersonal and interpersonal competencies? Psychologist Goldman has uh, defined these intrapersonal and interpersonal competencies. If you read on emotional intelligence, these two factors plays very important role. These are the two main dimensions of emotional intelligence. As far as intrapersonal competency is concerned, you are with how well you manage yourself. And as far as intrapersonal competency is concerned, is all about how you manage others. It means that emotional intelligence is a group of certain affection related abilities and skills which acts as a catalyst. बहुत important, the most important thing. Affection related abilities and skill of a human being And this affection related abilities and skill plays a role of catalyst to enable the employee, to enable the academician, to enable a job performer to identify and utilize his own emotions for regulating things or situations around him. Most important thing when we talk about emotional intelligence, and therefore there is a strong relationship between job stress, performance and emotional intelligence, because the ability of an employee to properly direct their emotions and the emotions of other employee will help him to deal with job stress, as a result of which job performance will be improved. बहुत important, the most important thing, which when we talk about a strong relationship between job stress, when we talk about relationship between job stress, performance and emotional intelligence, I hope I have made my point very clear, why we have chosen this topic and why we are talking on emotional intelligence. Now let us have a look upon the concept of stress at workplace. What is meant by job stress? What is meant by stress at workplace? As you all know, job stress is a physical. Job stress can be emotional response. Emotional response of whom? Physical response of whom? Emotional and physical response of an employee, of a human being, towards which to the unwanted workplace factors which are beyond the abilities of an employee. What is job stress? Job stress is unwanted workplace factors, your reaction towards the unwanted workplace factors. And these unwanted workplace factors are beyond the abilities of an employee. And thus, it was clarified that job stress is caused by stress contributing factors called stressor. We we have talked about social stressors. What are social stressors? And these stressors are nothing but these used to cause job stress in an employee, in an academician. And in this regard, as far as Cooper and Marshall are concerned, they have categorized six types of stressors. Let us have a look on these six types of stressors. Number one is intrinsic work factors, dual role. Many of us are performing dual roles. Many of us are performing, apart from teaching, we are dealing with student relationships. We are dealing with industrial relations. We are dealing with training and placements for the training and placement roles of the students. We are dealing with career development, organizational structure, interpersonal relationship among the employees, and extra organizational stressors including government, market competitive, and society as a whole. These are the stressors which are responsible for creating job stress at a workplace. And with the identification of these stressors, we started finding the interaction of stressors with other factors like work performance and motivation. What is the relationship? What is the effect of work performance and motivation on these stressors? And based upon the models of various scientists, person environment fit model, job demand control model, conservation of resources model, job demand resources model, uh, a job stress, a definition of job stress I have prepared. This job stress can be termed as deforming force created by existing stressors within work environment which are out of control of employees. Resultantly, employees develop both physical and psychological symptoms due to which their work related performance is negatively affected. What is job stress? Job stress, in when we talk about job stress, we are talking about stressors. We are talking about the stressors within our work employment. And these stresses, which stresses? These are out of control of the employees. Employees have no control on these stressors, and due to these stressors, employee used to develop both physical and psychological symptoms, and these symptoms are actually due to which their work related performance is being negatively affected. These symptoms, which symptom, physical and psychological systems, which are being developed due to these stressors of work environment, which are out of control of the employees. These used to these stressors are responsible for job stress actually. And like other professions, teaching is also very stressful job because faculties are exposed to both physical and psychological stressors. We as a faculty, we as an academicians, we are exposed to both physical and psychological stressors at a time. Although the stressors which cause the stress among the faculties are to some extent similar to stressors found in other jobs. Certain stressors like interpersonal, emotional demands, role conflict, work overload, each and everyone is overloaded. Career progression are specifically related to teaching profession. ये जो ये जो हमने stressors की बात की थी, 6 stressors, these are all present in teaching profession also. Interpersonal emotional demands, role conflict, work overload, career progression, these are specifically related with teaching profession, and these stressors create both physical and psychological symptoms, and these ultimately affect the teaching performance, overall performance of the faculties. Apart from such individual symptoms among faculties, the job stress has devastating outcomes for the educational system, educational institutions, for the university institution systems in terms of absenteeism. Absenteeism goes on increasing. Performance of the faculties are low. Lower organization commitment. Commitment is low, and the turnover is high. People, people think about changing their jobs frequently. These are the outcomes of job stress among the faculties. Now, uh, coming to the faculty's work-related performance, how to improve faculty's work-related performance? What do you mean by faculty's work-related performance? What is mean by faculty's work-related performance? Because as far as emotional intelligence is concerned, we are very much worried about the faculty's work-related performance. A constant thrust is being given from the management to improve the work-related performance of the faculties, in order to satisfy the needs of the students, in order to satisfy the needs of the various stakeholders of the university system, higher education system, higher education sector. Work performance is nothing but the ability of the employees to meet organizational commitments and achieve their work goal. Most important thing, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात मैं यहाँ पे कह रहा हूँ आपसे, organizational commitment. Vice Chancellor needs from his own faculty member what he needs. He need everybody must be committed towards the organization goals, towards achieving the work goals and objectives of the university system. This is what about the work performance. You can't say I'm taking my class regularly. Taking your class regularly, it is a one part of the organizational commitment. You have to do several other work also. You have to perform well in those type of your role also. And these in term, these all the roles in totality uh, can contribute towards the organizational commitment and achieving the work goals. Whereas faculty members' performance is the ability of a faculty to change his or her behavior in accordance to the dynamic work environment in order to successfully accomplish assigned task. Most important, बहुत important बात है यहाँ पर. It is an ability of the faculty to change his behavior. You have to change your behavior. Behavior according to the dynamic work environment. What is the demand of environment? What is the demand of students? What are the demands of a stakeholder? You have to work according to that. You have to change your behavior according to that. To why you have to change? To successfully accomplish assigned task, because you have to accomplish the assigned task. You have to be successfully you have to successfully do your own work. And factors like time management, maintaining a good communication channel with students, parents, institution administration often contribute positively to the faculty members' performance. Time management contribute positively to the faculty members' performance. Good communication skill with students, good communication channel with the students, parents, institution administration, good rapport with the registrar, good rapport with the vice chancellor, good rapport with the deans of various streams. This is all going to contribute positively to your own performance. And faculty's performance can be categorized into task and contextual performance. As far as faculty's performance, as far as judgment of faculty's performance is concerned, this faculty performance, you can categorize them into two parts. Number one is task performance. What is task performance? Task performance is the ability of faculty member to recognize the highlighted and explored organizational goals. It consists of faculty student interaction, teaching values, and effectiveness, the most important thing. Task performance. What is task performance? Faculty's task performance. You have to do your task. What is your task? You have to recognize the highlighted and explored organizational goals. You have to work according to your organizational goals. And what are your organizational goals? These organizational goals consist of faculty student interaction between the faculty and students, inculcating teaching values, moral values, and effectiveness in your teaching skill. This is what is about your task performance. As far as contextual performance is concerned, contextual performance contributes to the social and psychological environments in an organization by focusing on ethical practice, commitment, support, and cooperation among the faculties. Very important, very important. You have to be ethical in doing your work. You have to follow ethical practices. You have to be you have to show commitment. You must support and extend the wholehearted cooperation to other faculties in achieving the organizational goals. That means you have to contribute to the social and psychological environment of the organization. Positive contribution must be there of one's own faculty members. Such type of faculty performance are interconnected and contribute to the overall performance of the faculties as they present essential prerequisite, that is proficiency, adaptability, and proactivity of the effective performance. Three things are must when we talk about faculty related performance: proficiency, adaptability means how adaptable he is to the environment. What is the relationship of one faculty with his own environment? Proactivity, how proactive is one is a faculty in giving his best performance, effective performance. This was all about the faculty's work related performance. Friends, we have spoken about why we are speaking, why we are talking about emotional intelligence. What do you mean by job stress at workplace? And we have discussed in detail about the faculty's work related performance. Now let us come to emotions and emotional intelligence. What is meant by emotions? What do you mean by emotional intelligence? What are emotions? What is emotional intelligence? As you all see, a lot of research is being done on the topics of emotions since prehistoric time. As far as when we talk about Socrates, when we talk about Plato, Aristotle, when we talk about René Descartes, when we talk about John Locke, emotions has remained an evergreen topic in the history of literature. Literature is full of emotions, and according to Ekman, emotions are natural and inherent in human nature. It is a natural phenomenon. It is an inherent property in a human being, inherent characteristic in an in a human being, in a human nature. And humans express emotions in shape of pleasure. You can express your emotions in shape of pleasure. Pain, you can express emotions as excitement also, as hatred also, and these type of emotions exist universally. Apart from your own social life, the emotions play a very vital role in organization settings as well, in your family settings as well as, because several emotional factors can possibly affect the success of an organization, either at individual or group level. The success of organization depends upon your own success and the success when you work in a group also. And all these emotional factors play a very important role in this success, and it is the reason that the way in which employees tackle their emotions at workplace can decide the success or failure of an organization, failure of a university system, failure of an institution as a whole, failure of an business organization also, as how employee used to tackle his own emotions at the workplace. If there are a group of employees, how each and every employee is tackling his own emotions at the workplace. This all in a group, all individually decides the success or failure of an organization. And emotional intelligence is nothing but it is a sort of social intelligence comprised of non-cognitive abilities and competencies. Most important, बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है यहाँ पे. Emotional intelligence can be, many of the scientists have defined emotional intelligence in terms of social intelligence. And these social intelligence comprise of what? Comprise of non-cognitive abilities and competency. It acts as a standard for increasing the capability of the employees. If you want to, uh, um, if you want your organization to be a successful, you have to increase the capacity of the employees to recognize and utilize emotions at work. Very, very important. Capacity building programs are going on in many institutions. Faculty development programs are going on in many institutions. What for this faculty development program? What for this capacity building program? This is uh, these are nothing but the source to increase the capability of your own employees to recognize and utilize emotions at work by guiding their opinions, by guiding their actions, and these results into intellectual growth of the organization. I have identified different facets of emotional intelligence, and among these different facets, for me as a whole, if when I talk about emotional intelligence, I talk on the Goldman's two dimensions of emotional intelligence. Number one, as I have discussed previously, also interpersonal competency and intrapersonal competency. These two dimensions have been accepted, generally been accepted as an dimensions of emotional intelligence. What do you mean by interpersonal competencies? Interpersonal competencies enable the employees to manage themselves. Nutshell, talk talk about what is interpersonal. Interpersonal means you have to manage yourself. An employee has to manage himself. A faculty has to manage himself. Faculty has to manage himself. Whereas intrapersonal competencies means let the employee to interact with others successfully. Most important word we are used. Successful interaction with other employees. Successful interaction means which gives you fruitful results, which lead you towards the goals and objectives of the organization as a whole, which leads you to the meeting of the organizational objectives and goals. These are nothing but intrapersonal competencies. Talking with others, interacting with others as a faculty in an institution, we have to interact with our stakeholders. We have to interact with the students. We have to interact with the parents of the students. We have to interact with the probable employees, employers. We have to interact with the various industrial organizations. Not only for the employment, for internship as well as for field visit as well. We have to interact with NGOs. We have to interact with voluntary organizations. We have to interact with local administrations also. And making this interaction fruitful is nothing but your intrapersonal competency. And this interpersonal competency plus intrapersonal competency will lead you towards the success of the organization. This will lead towards the success. This will give you interpersonal competency and intra. When we talk about emotional intelligence consists of two main components: interpersonal competency and please keep this in. It is nothing else. Managing oneself, managing you own, how to manage oneself, how to manage yourself. The task, how to manage, how to control your anger, how to control your happiness, how to control your pleasure. This all is what? This all is enabling to manage themselves. This is interpersonal and personal competency. I have discussed you in detail. Interaction with the stakeholders, various stakeholders, organization as a whole. And this too will lead to a better emotional intelligence of the faculty members. And in turn, the organization will be able to achieve its objectives and goals. A scientist Hai connected the emotional intelligence with emotional capability, and he has introduced a new concept, emotional dynamics. This is just emotional intelligence. Apart from emotional intelligence, there was one scientist, emotional dynamics also. Some people talk about emotional dynamics also. Dynamic emotional intelligence based ability to act dynamic environment changes his own emotions in accordance to the demand prevalent and very important thing. This is what emotional dynamics is. I hope you have been able to understand the emotions and emotional intelligence. Come to the relationship, job stress, performance, emotional intelligence. What is the relationship between job stress, performance, and emotional intelligence? Whether these three terms are interrelated or not. whether these three are having an impact on each other or not. As far as relationship is concerned, this relationship is complex. This relationship is multifold because the effect of job stress on individual varies with the existence of other factors. There are various other factors also, not only the job stress. There are various other factors also which used to have an effect of job stress on individual, and these other factors either escalate or moderate down the effects of job stress. The previous studies, various studies have tried to link these three concepts: job stress, performance, and emotional, in different ways. But unfortunately, there is no general consensus among the scientists on the causal relationship between job stress, performance, and emotional intelligence. Scientists um, the the studies have tried to link these three concepts, but unfortunately, there is no general consensus on these causal relationship between these three concepts. A study of Wong, Law, etc. have identified a positive relationship between emotional intelligence and job performance. Study of Austin, etc. have found no or inconsistent relationship between emotional intelligence and job performance. A study of Spector and others found that the job stress was negatively related with job performance and emotional intelligence in such a way that capabilities of employees to appropriately manage their emotions will boost up the ability of employees to deal with physical and psychological stressors at workplace, and resultantly they will be in a better position to perform good. Most बहुत very important thing coming out of the research studies, because job stress is being seen as negatively related with job performance and emotional intelligence. If you can appropriately manage your own emotions, if you are capable enough to manage your own emotions, this will going to boost up the ability of what? Ability to deal physically and psychologically with the stressors. This will increase your ability to deal with physical and psychological stressors. If you are being able to deal uh, more with physical and psychological stresses, it means you are in a better position to perform your job. Your performance is good because you are being able to deal effectively with your physical and psychological stressors. The physical and psychological symptoms are seen less in you because you have been effectively dealing with these types of symptoms. And these types of findings are consistent with the theory of emotional intelligence. And this theory of emotional intelligence states that individuals with sufficient interpersonal and intrapersonal competencies can better manage their emotions and also cope with environmental successes. We were talking about these two categories of emotional intelligence: intrapersonal and interpersonal competencies. If an individual is can better manage their interpersonal and intrapersonal competency, it means that he is equipped with better physical he is equipped with the abilities to deal with physical and psychological stressors very well, and this in turn will lead to better job performance. This means that these individuals will be in a better position to manage their performance most effectively. This is what about the relationship between job stress, work performance, and emotional intelligence. Coming to the habits of emotional intelligent people, a question is being raised: what are the habits of emotionally intelligent people? What are the main habits? Let us have a look on this. Anyone can become angry. You can become angry, I can become angry. Your teacher can become angry, your management can become angry. That's a very easy task. But to be angry with the right person, to be angry to the right degree, to be angry at the right time, to be angry for the right purpose, and to be angry in the right way is not a easy task. Very difficult task. Anybody can become angry. I already told you. But to be angry with the right person, to be angry with a right degree, to be angry at the right time, to be angry with the for the right purpose and in the right way is a difficult task. It is not an easy task. And in this quote, the philosopher Aristotle perfectly sums up the concept of psychology, education, and business emotional intelligence. This quote, to be angry, this quote is enough enough to define the concept of emotionally intelligent people, enough to define the concept in psychology, enough to define a concept of education and business emotional intelligence. And these this is nothing but from these we can evolve the habits of emotional intelligent people. Emotionally intelligent people pay attention to what they are feeling. Emotional intelligent people understand how people feel. Emotionally intelligent people are able to regulate their emotions. They are capable enough. And one's own ability to regulate their own emotional, we have defined this in terms of interpersonal competencies, to regulate one's own emotions, and they are motivated, self-motivated. Emotionally intelligent people are self-motivated. They have great social skills. These are the common habits, and they are willing and able to discuss feelings with others. Always willing. They are free. They feel free to discuss their feelings with others. They are able to correctly identify the underlying causes of their emotions. Most important, these are the main habits of emotionally intelligent people. What are the major skills? Now, coming to the major skills involved in emotional intelligence. What are the skills involved uh, for one to be an emotionally intelligent person? What are these skills? The ability to perceive emotions. Most important thing. This is the skill required to be an emotional intelligent person. You have to be able to perceive the emotions. The ability to reason with emotions, ability to perceive, ability to reason with emotions, ability to understand emotions, and the ability to manage emotions. Four things, these four things are most important. Number one, ability to perceive emotions, ability to reason with emotions, ability to understand emotions, and number four, ability to manage emotions. Persons who are capable enough to perceive, person who are capable enough to reason, person who are capable enough to understand, and person who is capable enough to manage emotions is an emotionally intelligent person. These are the four skills which are involved in emotionally intelligent people. It is being said that emotional intelligence help protect against stress. It is being said. This is an hypothesis also. Emotional intelligence help protect against the stress. How it protect against it? If you are emotionally intelligent, why we are talking about emotional intelligence? Why organization is talking about emotional intelligence? Why university management is talking about emotional? Because simple reason, because it protect us against the stress. Every organization, every institution want his own employees to be emotionally intelligent. Emotional intelligence help faculties face certain stressful situations in which their action can impact the student learning and well-being. For the well-being and for creating a learning environment in an institution. Emotional intelligence help in this. Emotional intelligence help the faculties to deal with new type of challenges, coming with problematic group of students, new type of challenges coming with crowded classrooms, and new type of challenges coming with lack of motivation among the students. How to motivate the students, how to deal with the crowded classrooms, how to uh, uh, deal with the problematic type of students standing or sitting in a group. This is a big challenge before the institution, before the organization as a whole, and this can be and a faculty who is having high EQ level can um, can deal very well with these type of situations. And as you all know, we are living in a society where value education is very important, and dealing with students problem in a more understanding way is very important. And faculties, as you all know, faculties are very influential in all these things, and being a faculty is not an easy job. Too many lessons, too many students, and anxiety defines a faculty's day-to-day life. Too many lessons, बहुत सारे lessons. चार क्लास है मेरे पास, छः क्लास है रोज. I have to deal with lot of problematic students also who are coming to me in groups, not as an individual. I have to deal with crowded classrooms. I have to deal with too many students, and anxiety defines a faculty's day-to-day life. It is not an easy task, and we had our own problems, and we used to think nobody understand me. When we were students, we can't forget that we were the students many years ago. We were having own problems, and at that time we were thinking nobody used to understand us. Even faculty does not used to understand us. How great would have been if instead of getting condensing looks from the faculty, we would have gotten a talk at the end of the class. Please, a humble request, humble suggestion from me. Please devote at least 5 minutes at the end of your class to have a talk at the end of the class with the students, to show them that they are special to you and you support them. Your support is with them always. Please devote at least a 5 minutes at the end of your class. Why EQ matters in the workplace? Why emotional question work matters in the workplace? Why it is important? Why we are talking about emotional question? A table is coming before you. People with high EQ, people with low EQ. Right side, people with low EQ. Right, left side, people with high EQ. People with high EQ makes better decisions and solve problems. Faculties who are having high emotional intelligence are better in decisions and better in solving the problems. Faculties who are low EQ, they play the role of victim or avoid taking responsibilities for error. They, they will not take responsibilities. High EQ people used to keep cool under pressure, resolve conflict. They are always cool. They use their actions are like that. They are ready to resolve. They are ready to stand to resolve the conflicts. People with low EQ have passive or aggressive communication style. They are aggressive, passive. High EQ people have greater empathy. Low EQ people refuses to work as a team. High EQ faculties listen, reflect, and respond to constructive criticism. Low EQ faculty are overly critical of others or dismiss others' opinions. They used to dismiss others' opinions. And why EQ is important for success? We have seen what is the difference between people having high EQ, people with low EQ. Now let us come to why EQ is important for success. सक्सेस के लिए EQ important होता है. A research study shows IQ determines 20 to 25% of business success or organization success or institution success. IQ means intelligent questions. EQ determines 75 to 80% of business or organizational or institutional or university as a whole success. Big difference between IQ and EQ. Why? That's why EQ is important for success. Researchers have suggested that emotional intelligence influences how well faculty interact with their colleagues and students. We were continuously talking about interpersonal competencies and intrapersonal competencies, how well faculties interact with their colleagues and students. And EQ is also thought to play a role in how faculties manage stress and conflict. Very, very, very important. It also affects overall performance on the jobs. Other studies have linked emotional intelligence with job satisfactions. Research studies have also shown that employees with higher scores on measures of EQ also tend to be rated higher on measures of interpersonal functioning, leadership abilities, and stress management. Very important findings as far as interpersonal functioning is concerned, as far as leadership abilities and stress management is concerned. Studies have shown that employees with higher scores of EQ tend to be rated higher on these levels as well. Now, exercise before you. How emotionally intelligent are you? I hope you all are watching me. Let me give you this link on your comment box. I am just giving you, please give me 1 minute. I am giving you this link on your comment box, and please click it and test uh, test yourself how emotionally intelligent you are. This is an online exercise. I hope you all will be able to do. I have given this link in your chat box. I hope it is visible to everyone. Please click on this link. Please copy this link and paste on your Google browser and open it. There are 10 questions. 10 questions are there in this exercise. This is an online verified by senior psychologists, verified by doctors also, medical professionals also. It is an psychological test to test your EQ, emotional question. Please copy this link and paste on your Google browser and let me know. Please let me know the finding कृपया उसको कॉपी करके जो है आप चैट बॉक्स में पेस्ट करें. It will show how emotionally intelligent are you. Please answer these 10 questions. 10 questions might be there. Please answer these 10 questions and let me know how emotional intelligent are you. Result will automatically come after answering these 10 questions. Good one result is there. Paya Sharma ma'am. High emotional intelligence. Good. Very good. We are having 69 scholars on this platform. I hope everyone has opened this link. Please read the questions cautiously. Read the questions and answers cautiously.
How should we share the results?
Yeah. Please type your results in the chat box.
No, but then after completing the questionnaire, how we will get the results?
Just just click on the submit एक उसमें नीचे एक option होगा submit. Click on the submit. Automatically result will come on your dashboard. Result will come on your monitor automatically. After giving answers of all, result will come automatically. Yes, results are coming. Garima ma'am, average emotional intelligence, high emotional intelligence, average emotional intelligence. Again, one more result. You got high emotional intelligence. Good. Average emotional intelligence, Jayan sir.
हेलो
Yes, yes, ma'am.
सर, क्वेश्चन तो सारे अटेम्प्ट कर दिए सर, सबमिट कैसे
नीचे
करना है?
नीचे रिजल्ट आ गया होगा, हाउ इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंट आर यू के नीचे लिखा यू गॉट हाई
Yes sir, yes sir,
इमोशनल
yes sir,
इंटेलिजेंस.
yes sir, I got it. Yes sir.
This is your result, ma'am.
Okay sir. Okay, thank you sir.
But you have to answer all the 10 questions. After that only the result will come.
Okay sir.
Yeah. A question, how emotionally intelligent are you? You got high emotional intelligence. It means you are highly emotionally intelligent.
Yes
That's what
sir.
we want.
Yes sir.
I think everybody is being able to attempt this. Kindly send link again. Bhavya, I think Bhavya is not able to. Is it needed again? Let me send the link again.
More or less every person is, I think, able to attend it.
Yeah. I think now we should go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Looking to the constant
Rest
of
of
our
the
time.
participants can always mention their.
Yeah. You have the link now. You can attempt it later also. So again, coming to our point, coming to the presentation. If my presentation is visible, sir? Surinder, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, it is visible.
If you got high emotional intelligence, it means people who secure high on emotional intelligence tend to be skilled at interpreting, understanding, and acting upon the emotions. Most important thing, you have to interpret, you have to understand, and you have to act upon the emotions. And these emotions are adept at dealing with social or emotional conflicts, expressing their feelings, and dealing with emotional situations. This is what we want actually. And now coming to, if you are low at emotional quotient, how to improve your emotional intelligence, how to improve anybody's. It can be among the faculties also, it can be in the family also, it can be in an organization, business organization also. How to improve your own emotional intelligence. Number one, the foremost point is self knowledge. Knowing one's own emotion and relationship they have with our thoughts and actions will allow us to be more self aware. You have to have a knowledge of yourself first to be a more emotionally intelligent person. Number two is emotional control. You have to have control on your own emotions. This emotional control allows us to dominate the impulsiveness that may arise in stressful or chaotic classroom situation. I'm talking about faculties. Maybe chaotic classroom situation, maybe chaotic business situations, maybe chaotic intellectual situations, maybe chaotic situations on streets, maybe chaotic situations in one's own office. It is what about is emotional control. Please mute yourself, ma'am, please. Number three is ability to motivate. It helps faculties. Please mute yourself, please. Everyone, humble request to you, please mute yourself. Ability to motivate. It helps faculties understand how to motivate themselves, which then allows them to motivate their student. One has to be self-motivated. No exterior catalyst should be required. One should be self-motivated, and this ability to motivate my own thoughts, motivate my own views, motivate oneself is nothing but it will increase your emotional intelligence score. Empathy, it helps faculty to communicate with students, communicate with parents, communicate with probable employers and understand them, because maybe that student who doesn't open their book in a class and then don't pay attention to them, maybe he he may be a very important stakeholder to you, and this is nothing but interacting style. You have to have interaction with your students, you have to have interaction with the parents also. Social and leadership skills, they make it possible to interact with in an effective way with the students, to do so without losing authority. You have to have leadership skill, you have to have leadership traits within you. And how to become emotionally intelligent, इमोशनली इंटेलिजेंट हम कैसे बने. This can be particularly harmful in the institution where relationships, academic decisions often rely on interpersonal understanding, teamwork, and communication. Factors such as upbringing and personality tends to play a large role in the development of emotional intelligence, but it is a skill that can be improved with effort and practice. You have to become more self-aware. Becoming more self-aware means paying attention to how you are feeling, taking stock of one's own emotional strengths and weakness. Remember that emotions are fleeting. Practice self-regulation. You have to practice yourself. People who possess good self-regulation are able to adapt well to changing situations, and this is very important. Practice self-regulation is very improve skills. You have to improve your social skills, leadership skills. You have to improve upon. You have to pay attention to non-verbal communication also. You have to hone your persuasion skills. You must avoid office drama also. Become more empathic. See things from the other person's point of view. Pay attention to how you respond to others. Work on your motivation. You have to work upon your own motivation. Focus on what you love about your work. Try to maintain a positive attitude while working. And this, friends, this was all about emotional intelligence. This was all about job stress. This was all about one's own performance while doing a job. And as you all know, emotional intelligence is not just for vice chancellors. Emotional intelligence is not just for deans, not just for principals of the institutions. Emotional intelligence is nothing but a quality that is important at every level of a person's career, from college going students who are looking for internship and to be a seasoned faculty hoping to take on a leadership role. If you want to succeed in the workplace, if you want to succeed in your job and move up the career ladder, emotional intelligence is critical to your success. कुछ सेल्फ एक्सरसाइज इज कमिंग बिफोर यू. कृपया ध्यान से इसको देखें. कुछ क्वेश्चंस, सम क्वेश्चंस विल बी कमिंग to you. कुछ क्वेश्चंस आपके सामने आ रहे हैं. I hope you are being able to read it. Question number 1, just to have a revision on what we have spoken today, what we have listened today, what we were talking about. Some simple questions. This will again refresh you. This will again this will give me an opportunity to have a revision on what we have spoken about in today's presentation. Emotional intelligence is different from other intelligence in that A, B, C, D. There are 4 options. Write the correct option. Go to your chat box. Type question number one, and write the correct answer. Emotional intelligence is different from other intelligence in that. Write the correct answer. I hope you are being able to. So this, my presentation is visible to you. Please,
Yes, sir.
please go
Yes,
to
sir,
your
it is
chat
visible.
box.
It is visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Go to your chat box and give me the answer of this question number 1. Yes, correct answer. I have seen that focus is on emotional reasoning, ability, and knowledge. Emotional intelligence is different from other intelligence in that the focus is on emotional reasoning, the focus is on emotional ability and knowledge. Question number 2 is coming before you. Which of the following is the best predictor of academic performance? ध्यान रखिएगा, बहुत ध्यान से पढ़िए इसको and give the correct answer. Which of the following is the best predictor of academic performance? Best predictor of academic performance. I am not talking about the job performance. ध्यान रखिए, academic performance. प्लीज वर्ड्स का ध्यान रखिएगा यहाँ पर एंड गिव द करेक्ट आंसर. थैंक यू वेरी मच. करेक्ट आंसर बिल्कुल सही आपने, कुछ लोगों ने दिया है करेक्ट आंसर. करेक्ट आंसर इज IQ, नॉट ट्रेड EI, बिकॉज वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एकेडमिक परफॉर्मेंस. वी आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट one's job performance. Number third, the higher the trait EI, A, B, C, D, again 4 answers are there. The higher the trait EI, the higher the likelihood of personality disorder, the lower the likelihood of personality disorder. C or D, which is the correct answer? Please type 3 and give the correct answer. The higher the trait EI, बिल्कुल राइट, मैं देख रहा हूँ सही आंसर. The lower the likelihood of personality disorder. Thank you very much. Having high emotional intelligence may not always be adaptive. Why? Having high emotional intelligence may not be always adaptive. Why? Others will likely ignore them. They will have a high opinion of themselves. These people are more sensitive to mood manipulation. D, all of the above, which is the correct answer. Person with high emotional intelligence. The correct answer, let me tell you, the correct answer is C is the correct answer. These people are more sensitive to mood manipulation. Fifth, emotional intelligence refers to qualities such as understanding your own feelings, empathy for others, and possessing above average verbal math skill, the ability to manage emotions, having a good sense of humor, understanding human relations research. Naturally, B is the correct answer. The ability to manage emotion. Emotional intelligence is all about the ability to manage emotions. Number 6, one of the key factors of emotional intelligence is one of the key factors. I have given these 3, which the 4 answers are there. Which one is the key factor? Self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, all of the above. These all are the key factors of emotional intelligence, and hence D is the correct answer. Question number 7, which of the following is considered to be important in achieving happiness in life? Which of the following is considered to be important in achieving happiness in life? Being fair, kind, helpful, trusting others, developing a sense of self-esteem, appreciating the joys of day-to-day living, all of the above. All of the above is the correct answer. 8. Which of the following is considered to be a key to achieving happiness in life? Energizing yourself, satisfying your most important values, leading a meaningful life, all of the above. Naturally, all of the above is again the correct answer of question number 8. Question number 9, the 5 principles of psychological functioning include all of the following except. This is a tricky question. The 5 principles of psychological functioning which we are talking about include all of the following except future thinking, separate psychological realities, mood, feelings. Concerned with emotional intelligence. In emotional intelligence, we are never thought about talk about future thinking. Hence, future thinking, it is accept future thinking. We talk about separate psychological realities, we talk about mood, we talk about feelings in psychology, but do not talk about future realities. The term emotional intelligence is proposed by number 8, Daniel Goleman. It is being first proposed by Daniel Goleman. 11th, what is emotional intelligence? This is the question. Please write, what do you mean by emotional intelligence? Let me give you the correct answer. Please read it very well. Emotional intelligence is the ability to make emotions work for you instead of against you. Very important point. What is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is the ability of yourself, ability of one wants to make his own emotions work for him, not work against the him, not work against him. This is what emotional intelligence is. Your emotions should work for the betterment of your career, for the betterment of your future, for the betterment of your personality. It should not work against you. This is what emotional intelligence is all about. What are the four types of emotional intelligence we have discussed? These are the four types: self-awareness, self-management, managing one's own emotions, social awareness. We have talked about social instincts, we have talked about social stressors also, relationship management, making relationship, making interactions with your exterior environment, with your stakeholders. Can emotional intelligence be taught? एक क्वेश्चन सबके सामने बार बार आता है, बार बार एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है, कैन इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस बी टॉट? क्या इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस को पढ़ाया जा सकता है? यस, टू एन एक्सटेंट. A variety of factors will affect your ability to understand and manage emotions, including your genes and environment. Most important thing, including your genes and environment. These affect your ability to understand, but research demonstrates that you can grow these abilities. You can grow these abilities. Hence, to some extent, to such an extent, this emotional intelligence can be taught. How can I become emotionally intelligent? Those who are performing low on EQ, a big question before them: how to become more emotional intelligence? Begin by asking yourself, I highlighted in red, in what situations do I find that emotions work against me? Big question before him. Please write yourself, in what situations do I find that emotions work against me? Once you are being able to identify a few areas, you can then ask someone or others. You can ask your family member also, you can ask your brother also, you can ask your friend also, to give you a feedback on those areas. To whom you can trust, you should ask them, and these feedback can play a very good role, can become an important role to make you emotionally intelligent. Please ask yourself, in what situations do I find that emotions work against me? One more question is coming before you. Is IQ or EQ more important? Which is more important, IQ or EQ? हमने I have shown one slide, actually एक slide हमने देखी थी, in which I told you 20 to 25%. IQ stands for 20 to 25% of organizational success. EQ, more EQ means 75 to 80% chances are there for organizational success. Psychologist Daniel Goleman, in his book Emotional Intelligence, suggested that EQ or emotional intelligence quotient might actually be more important than IQ. How? I hope this slide can tell you the difference between IQ and EQ. IQ, visual processing. EQ, identifying emotions. IQ, working for memory. EQ, relating to others. Fluid and quantitative reasoning. EQ is what? EQ is all about social communication. Which is more important? At what time IQ was viewed as a primary determinant of success? People with high IQ were assumed to be destined for a life of accomplishment. Nowadays, situation has changed. Some critics begin to realize that high intelligence was no guarantee for success in life. It was also perhaps too narrow and concept to fully encompass wide range of human abilities and knowledge. IQ is still recognized as an important element of success. It is important element of success, particularly when it comes to academic achievement. The most important thing when it comes to academic achievement, people with high IQ typically do well in schools, typically do well in colleges, often earn more money, and tend to be healthier in general. Research study shows this. But today, experts recognize that IQ is not the only determinant of life success. Research has found that individuals with strong leadership potential also tend to be more emotional intelligence, suggesting that high EQ is an important quality for academic leaders and managers. This was all about emotional intelligence. I have given you some useful links. You can, if you want to have more study on emotional intelligence, job stress, job performance, you can go on reading all these useful links. These are available online also. And last but not the least, thank you one and all for joining me on this workshop on emotional intelligence and academic performance. Any questions? Questions are welcome. Good luck to you, one and all. I
Hi,
hope.
Dr. Sunil. Thank you so much for such a great session. I had one question. So throughout, we were talking about emotional intelligence, right? And how we ourselves can do things better. But when we talk about faculties, right? In your opinion, what can the organization itself do so that the faculties can manage their own emotional intelligence better? Because until the faculty is doing well, right, the organization is not going to be benefiting as much as it possibly could. So what do you think the main management should be doing?
From the management side, what management should do? Actually, emotional intelligence is a thing which which has to be improved upon by one own self. You have to improve upon your own emotional intelligence. If you are willing to have an improvement upon them, then that in that way only you can improve your emotional intelligence.
Definitely.
Management can extend its full support by organizing capacity building programs. Management can organize faculty development programs. But if you are committed to your own, if you want to participate in the success of the organization, if you are committed towards the organization goals and organization objectives, you have to improve upon your own emotional intelligence quotient. That's that's what it is very important. And I have given a question which is being highlighted in reading. You have to ask yourself, what are those areas which on which I am emotionally weak? You have to identify those areas with the help of your family members, with the help of your friends, with the help of your peer groups. You have to identify those areas and you have to work upon it. And by working upon it only, you can improve your own emotional intelligence quotient. That's what I want to
All right, thank you.
Thank you
and
very much.
how much do you think actually talking about psychology would improve it? Because, you know, we have this taboo in society where you don't talk about mental illnesses. And obviously, if there's stress at work, right, it's going to harm your physical health as well as your mental health. So do you think if we talked more about such things, everyone's emotional intelligence would be better?
Actually, if you want me to talk as a psychologist, emotional intelligence is a quality which is being inculcated in you by your family, actually your parents. What you see uh, in your own family, what you see the characters of what you see in your father, what you see in the mother, the character, those characteristics which are being present in your father, characteristics which are being present in your mother, they used to inculcate those characteristics in you also. The more emotionally intelligent your family, it is probable the coming son or daughter of that family will be, you can say, he or she will be more emotionally intelligent. Emotionally, a person to be emotionally intelligent, two factors are very important from my side. Number one is family. Number two is school education.
Right.
If your school education, if you were having good teachers with you, if they are being able to inculcate moral values in you, emotional values uh, in their own students, naturally you will be having high emotional intelligent question. That's no way. Otherwise you have to learn yourself. After that you have to learn yourself, you have to correct yourself,
Yeah,
learn and
definitely.
correct yourself. You have to identify the weak areas in your own so that you can work upon that.
Right. All right. Thank
That's
you,
what.
doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, the links that you have given,
Yeah,
does it also give you a, measurement of the emotional intelligence? It's because this test only gave high or medium.
yeah. It is. It gives high, medium, low, average.
Does it like IQ? Does it give a skill?
Many more tests are available online. Many tests are available online, which gives you score also, sir. Many tests are available online. But please see the validity of those tests. Please see, please,
Another
please.
question was that what you were saying about emotional intelligence is valid not only for an academic institution but in organization, any
Yeah,
organization.
yeah, yeah. Any organization, yeah. Emotional intelligence is important in any organization. As a prime minister, you see Modi, Narendra Bhai Modi, you see how emotionally intelligent he is, how well he used to connect with the common man of the country. आप देख रहे हैं बंगाल में जाके एक अंतिम पंक्ति के व्यक्ति से भी किस तरह कनेक्ट करता है वो व्यक्ति. This is what the quality is required in a leader actually. This is what about the emotional intelligent quotient. How to interact with the people, how to interact with your exterior environment, apart from interacting with your own personality. You have to interact with others also. You have to interact with the social leaders, you have to interact with the bureaucrats, you have to interact with scientists, you have to interact with the common man of the country also. This is what is required actually. And more emotional intelligent quotient you have, the more successful you are. That's why he's successful. That's why he's successful.
Sir, one thing
So
which
can we say that emotional intelligence and PRO-ship is one and the same thing?
Yeah. Public relationship, very important thing. Very important thing. A good PRO must be having high emotional intelligent quotient. Must. This is a must for him, sir. Otherwise, he can't be a good PRO. He can't understand. He can't interact with people. He can't interact with the stakeholders of the organization. स्टेक से इंटरेक्ट करना, आप कैसे इंटरेक्ट करेंगे सर? आप उसके लिए यू हैव टू हैव सम स्किल्स. That was what the Goldman called it intrapersonal competency. This is a must. These are the two categories of emotional intelligence: interpersonal competency and intrapersonal competency. Intrapersonal competency plays very important role. As far as IQ is concerned, जो हम IQ की बात कर रहे थे, IQ, the more IQ you have, the more interpersonal competency you have. But if you want to have high IQ, you have to both interpersonal competency and intrapersonal competency. Both should be high. You must be able to interact with others also. That's very important.
Sir, when you are linking job stress with EI, now, are you saying that having a high EI will reduce job stress, or increasing the job stress will lower the EI. Means which is the cause and which is the effect?
No, sir. It was very clear from the research studies, there is no causal relationship between these three. There is no causal relationship between job stress, between job performance, and between emotional intelligence. No research study says that causal relationship between these three exists. There is no causal relationship. Please make it very, very clear. No causal relationship. If you want to decrease your job stress can be decreased when you are having good intrapersonal skill. When you are competent enough to control your own emotions, to regulate your own emotions. If you are competent enough to regulate your own emotions, you are competent enough to control your own emotions, then it means you are comfortable in talking, you are comfortable in interacting with each and every part of the society. And this comfort will lead to a success in the organization. This comfort will make you a successful man, actually.
So what you are saying is that emotional intelligence is an inherent quality that individuals should develop.
Inherent, it is inherent also, it can be developed also. To some extent it can be developed.
Thank you, sir.
So, sir, basically it is genetic, not the social environment factors. They have a little role in developing the emotion.
Genetic, you can't say genetic. It is being inculcated. You can't say genetic. It is
Internalized.
It has, it is nothing to do with genes. It is being inculcated by our family. It is being inculcated in the school itself, actually. क्या होता है फैमिली में, हम देखते हैं सर कि बच्चे को कहीं जाने से रोकना, अरे उस कमरे में बैठी बेटा, उस कमरे में माऊ बैठी, उस कमरे में चूहा बैठा, क्या होगा? उसके मन में एक डर बैठ गया साहब. अब वो ऐसे कमरे में जाने से डरेगा हमेशा जहां पे जिस कमरे में अंधेरा है, डरेगा, वो जाने से डरेगा. देखिएगा क्यों? क्योंकि आपने एक ऐसा माहौल उसके लिए बना दिया. ये माहौल कहाँ बना है? ये माहौल, इट इज नॉट ड्यू टू जीन्स. ये तो आपने पैदा कर दिया एक माहौल, उसके मन में बैठा दिया एक ऐसा माहौल. डर तो आपने बैठाया साहब. डर के आया थोड़ी था वो, डर के पैदा थोड़ी हुआ था वो. डर तो बैठा दिया है आपने. तो ये डर को निकालना है हमने. मैंने एक छोटा सा एग्जांपल दिया है आपको. ऐसे कई सारी चीजें हैं जो हम फैमिली से इंकलकेट करते हैं. एक्चुअली फैमिली से बच्चों को दे देते हैं. स्कूल जो है बहुत सारी क्वालिटीज ऐसी होता है जो बच्चे में इंकलकेट कर देता है. स्कूल का एनवायरनमेंट, स्कूल का माहौल ऐसा होता है, वो क्वालिटीज बच्चों में इंकलकेट हो जाती है उससे. इसको टू सम एक्सटेंट वी कैन मैनेज, टू सम एक्सटेंट वी कैन चेंज. इफ यदि कोई एक पर्सन, इफ अ पर्सन इज विलिंग टू चेंज, he can, no doubt.
Sir, can we say this emotional intelligence, once you have high emotional intelligence, automatically your interpersonal skills also grow well?
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe both of them are complementing each other?
You can't say a high EQ with low IQ.
True.
I don't know. High EQ with high IQ always exist. High EQ with low IQ बहुत कम मैंने तो
No,
I have not seen.
Interpersonal skill I'm talking about. When we talk high EQ, in that case, interpersonal skills also get developed by itself.
Yeah, definitely. Without developing interpersonal skills,
or we can say these are both complementary to each other.
No, sir. I think first you have to work on yourself.
Right.
First you have to work on yourself.
Certainly, yes.
Without developing your own interpersonal competency, you can't think about intrapersonal competency. You have to first competent enough to see in your own life what flaws, what weakness is present inside me. You have to work upon that first.
True.
Then only you can go to the environment, then only you can go outside, then only you can talk with stakeholders.
True.
First, you have to work upon interpersonal competency, sir. Yeah.
So any more questions from the...
Is psychophancy also part of emotional intelligence?
Sir.
Sir, people with a high emotional EI, aren't they perceived as soft persons? So other people will take advantage.
Yeah. No. So they are not soft persons, sir. What Surender sir was talking about, high EQ persons are having high IQ also, sir. You can't take high EQ person always granted. ऐसा नहीं है कि बहुत soft होते हैं वो. Soft तो उनका nature वो बना लेते हैं अपने आप. Nature, they are soft because they want to reach each and every person of the country. They want to talk with you. They want to enter in your heart. They want to enter in your brain actually. वो आपकी brain को enter करना चाहते हैं, आपके views, आपके thoughts को हिला देना चाहते हैं, आपके अंदर enter करना चाहते हैं. That's why they are soft enough. और वो softness ही सर जो है अंदर जो आपके विचारों को प्रभावित कर सकती है, आपके views, आपके thoughts को प्रभावित कर सकती है.
No, sir, I am saying that a high EQ person is perceived as a soft person by others.
Yeah, definitely, sir, definitely. Aggression नहीं होगा सर उसमें, aggression, angerness होगा ही नहीं सर, कभी भी हो ही नहीं सकता.
So they think that these high EQ persons can be easily manipulated.
No, not sir. ये जो आप कह रहे हैं, they are not manipulated. They are flexible enough to change themselves according to the environment.
But
they can't be manipulated by others. Actually,
but they are strong in their principles. That is what you mean.
Yeah. They are strong in their principles, and they are flexible enough to change their views, to change their thoughts according to the environment. Actually, but they are not changing their principles. They are not changing their values. This is what is important, sir. Not at the cost.
Sorry. So you were saying something. Sorry.
Yeah, not at the what I was talking about. Not at the cost of one's own values. Not at the cost of one's own moral values. It is all keeping the moral values instinct, keeping the principles in line. What we are talking about. They used to change their attitude. They used to change their mind actually to reach others. This is what emotional intelligence is all about.
Right. So if we can go on and on, I think with Dr. Sunil Goyal, we can go for at least not less than 2 to 3 days time, but we have to conclude the session. So if there are any questions, we can take one last question if there are any, or otherwise I would request Dr. Satyajit Mangaonkar sir to convey a vote of thanks.
Yes, participants, any questions from your side, please?
Sure. One last question for Dr. Sunil.
Yeah, please.
Please.
So for those people who do not have high emotional intelligence, what would some of your tips be for managing everything right now? Because most of us are experiencing mental illnesses for the first time with extreme anxiety and depression because of the pandemic. So, for people who aren't really used to things like this, what would you recommend on doing for managing their lifestyles better?
As far as actually those who are having high EQ, they are doing already very well.
Definitely.
They are not having any problem. They have changed themselves. They have changed their views. They have changed their style of working. They have changed their business. They are now into a new line of business. They have already started new enterprise. They already changed their own style of working. This all comes with the high emotional intelligence factor. They are already into the business. They are already doing well, ma'am, in this pandemic time also. They are already doing well.
But it's a
No
small
need,
niche,
no
right?
need. I think there is no need of addressing these type of people.
Yeah, but what about
They
the
are
rest of them,
earning.
right?
Yeah. They, because they are not being able to change themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They have to. And this time has told each and every one, you have to be flexible. Don't
Definitely.
rely on doing one type of business for years together. Those who are into those who are those who are into different kind of business, different type of enterprises are doing well. But those who are into one type of business, one kind of business for years together are into trouble these days, are in a great trouble these days.
Yeah. All right.
अब
Thank you,
एक
doctor.
मन में एक ये बात आ जाती है कि मैं तो अब यहाँ का राजा हूँ. आई एम हैविंग अ बिग शॉप इन मॉल में, मल्लार मेगा मॉल में आया हो, द बिगेस्ट शॉप. मैं तो अब यहाँ का मालिक हूँ, मैं अब यहाँ का राजा. राजा नहीं है भैया, तेरी दुकान बंद पड़ी साल भर से. अब राजा नहीं है तू.
Definitely.
राजा तो वो है, राजा तो अभी भी चाय वाला है. वो चाय अभी भी बेच रहा है, उसकी चाय की स्टॉल अभी भी चल रही है बराबर. चाय के साथ में बिस्किट भी रखने लग गया, चाय के साथ में एग्स भी रखने लग गया, चाय के साथ में जो है फ्रूट्स भी रखने लग गया, फ्रूट्स भी बेच रहा है, सब्जी भी बेच रहा है. ही हैज चेंज हिमसेल्फ. यू
Yeah.
हैव टू, दैट्स व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड एक्चुअली.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, doctor.
थैंक यू मैम.
Thanks again, sir. I would request Satyajit Prangaonkar sir to kindly give the vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, Singh sir. It is my pleasure to thank Dr. Sunil Goyal sir. It was a wonderful session, and I may say it was a very good afternoon that we spent with you, sir. Some of the points you highlighted in a well way, as you stress upon different factors related to IQ and EQ, that was touched to me as intrapersonal and interpersonal competencies. You really said that as about the emotional intelligence, they have to regulate the emotions, and also for a emotional intelligent person will be able to discuss their feelings with others. Also, managing emotions, understanding emotions, reason with emotions is very difficult, and the person who is going to manage it definitely make a good sense of his life. We also came to know from you, sir, about how to motivate the students, how to deal with the students, and to have the emotional intelligence. These faculties are very playing a very key role in that always. And you said about the EQ as 75 to 80% of a business success, rightly pointed as defined with respect to the EQ. And it was indeed good experiments you carried out amongst ourselves as how to judge your own emotional intelligence. And it was a wonderful experience, and we got to know various references as well from Avantika family, from student friends, from my colleague friends. I'm very much thankful for the wonderful session, and hope this will last in future as well. We will be interesting. We are interesting, and we will be interesting to hear you more on this in future as well. So thank you very much, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. Will be going to be a great pleasure to you, great pleasure for me connecting you in future, sir. Thank you so much for invitation. Thank you. Feel humbled and grateful to you all.
It was feast to our ears to hear you, feast to our eyes to look at you, and giving your
Thanks.
the way you presented the things. Wonderful, sir. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Those who could not attend, they missed out something.
Yeah. Thank you all the participants.
I think video is available. YouTube
Yes.
video will be available now.
Yes.
Yeah, we can share that.
Thank you.
So you wish to run the
Yeah, can I share the screen of
Yes.
national anthem?
Please.
please do that.
Yeah, just a minute. I am sharing the audio video link of national anthem. Let us stand where we are.
Let us stand.
Yeah.
I request all to stand for the national anthem.
Screen is visible, sir?
Yes, 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 yes.
Just
Yep.
a minute. Right, sir. Thank you very much.
Great show, sir. We would like to connect again, and we'd like to have more sessions from you, sir.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
a
sir.
lot, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thanks,
and
everyone.
Thanks to all the participants who were there. Those who could
Yeah,
not
yeah,
attend, they do not know what they have missed. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think we
Thank
can
you once again.
leave.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye.
End the session, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You can leave meeting, sir. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.